Report a shot fired at officers trying to stop the vehicle.
We have one officer shot. We got shots fired. Sounded like an automatic firearm.
Copy, code red, shots fired.
We have an active shooter. We have an active shooter inside the warehouse.
Now it's Shots Fired with your hosts TJ Kirgin, Dinah Death Milberg, and the lovely Krystal Powers.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Shots Fired, the weekend edition. We are here to talk about guns, self-defense, the Second Amendment, the Constitution, and hentai porn.
All right. We're just starting that off right off the bat.
Well, yeah, I wasn't planning on talking about hentai today because I didn't even really know what it was. But before the microphones turned on,
you made that mistake.
Me, TJ Kirgin, a.k.a. Sig Glock and Colt, our lovely partner in crime, Krystal Powers.
I don't take any responsibility for this hentai discussion.
We and Dinah Death Milberg, we're all having a conversation, and something got brought up about Chinese, and then it was Japanese, and then it was hentai. We were talking about Notorious FDE, our video producer for the podcast.
Sushi keychain thingamabob.
Yes.
Right. Well, I think it all started when you said that I looked like I should be carrying an AK today.
Yeah, you look very Russian. It's I don't know.
So I'm like
it's
a
your vibe.
Russian mobster. I got the three-stripe life tracksuit going on with my precision fitness, just tight enough, zip just low enough. Sport shirt.
As low as it goes,
It's
actually.
as low as it goes, that's right. That's the only way I go.
Becoming increasingly more uncomfortable.
Well, and so somehow we went from talking about AK-47s because of my tracksuit, three-stripe life, to
sushi.
No. It went to saying that Notorious FDE's AK probably had.
It does. It has a
hentai
hentai
on it.
sticker on it.
You said anime girls.
Anime.
Or something.
Same thing.
And so
No, but
anime,
it's not.
anime
Okay,
and
that's what
hentai-
started this discussion.
We are finally full circle.
And here we
so
are.
anime is what? Anime is Japanese cartoon.
Yeah, and they tell stories, and they have
Typically
really
violent,
amazing
bloody, gory
soundtracks and really great stories.
Yes, my son is totally into.
If you talk to anybody who watches anime, they will very passionately tell you that there is some real quality there. Besides, if you can get past the fact that it's a cartoon.
Right.
Yeah,
For
like the
grown men.
storylines and the soundtrack. I have heard this from so many people. I've never watched anime longer than a couple seconds.
Yeah, I have not sat down and completely dove into it, but I've watched my son and his friends and his girlfriend watch it for hours and hours and hours.
People get really
it's
into
very
it.
soap opera-y. There's a lot of drama, a lot of violence, a lot of blood and gore. And it usually has historic references that are not very Japanese. Like one of the most popular anime movies is about it's basically Norse culture. It's the Berserker ruin that everybody
them Japanese Vikings were clever fellers.
right. Well, here's the thing. So everybody believes that there's this Berserker ruin, right? Rune, meaning like a symbol. I actually have something very similar tattooed on my arm because we used this quote unquote Berserker ruin as a muse to create our own ruin for Kirgin Industries, right?
Yeah.
Because my family is of Norse descent, but the way we changed the ruin, it now has all of the letters of my name in it, Kirgin. All of them are in the ruin, right?
Interesting.
But the actual original ruin, what people know as the Berserker ruin, is not traced back to Norse history at all. It actually comes from like a 1990s anime movie, and it's an animated movie, and it was about it's called Berserker, and that was the logo for the movie. And so there's dudes all over the country that have this logo tattooed on them, thinking they're Viking AF, and they're really
reality they're Japanese anime AF.
yeah, they're Japanese AF, anime, whatever the F stands for. So anyway, then we talked about hentai, because everybody's heard of hentai, and we were like, well, what's the difference between hentai and anime? And so our lovely assistant did a little research.
No one else wanted to
and
look
here
that
is
up on their phone.
I was like, I'll take one for the team. Okay, so all I did was Google it, and clearly my safe searches are off.
Careful.
I found. Okay, so Wikipedia says what?
No. I was telling the people in the audience, careful when they do this.
Don't look this
Not
up.
safe for work.
Not safe for work.
Keep safe search on.
The overarching definition here says that it means metamorphosis or transformation. However, in sexual context, it carries additional meaning of perversion or abnormality, especially when used as an adjective.
So it's basically the same as transsexual.
The shortened form of the phrase hentai, I'm so sorry for butchering this, seiyoku, just means sexual perversion.
Will you say that like a Japanese steakhouse person?
I refuse, only because I have such respect for Asian people. I can't. I knew Alex would be able to come in for that.
It's a very sneaky.
So hentai means perversion.
Sexual perversion.
Sexual perversion. So hentai porn, basically perverted anime porn.
You guys remember the one time we had that
anime
radio
porn
show?
is what hentai porn is. Is that what you're telling me?
That's
But
what
it's
it
also
says.
transitional, and so that's where I also draw reference to.
Oh, that's where you're getting at.
transgenders.
Okay, now I'm seeing.
Are also transitional and strange perversion, right? So hentai
Interesting.
really means trading. It's the English.
You know what? Okay,
it's
I
English
totally.
translation.
I appreciate.
So Google
that
trading
link.
porn and tell me what you find.
So
I'm
by that
good.
same argument, are you saying that caterpillars are trannies? Because they transition into
And they
butterflies?
metamorphosize and
No.
transition
No,
into
no.
something altogether different.
No, I
Does it-
just posted a picture
here we
of a
go.
caterpillar. It's a meme. It's a caterpillar, and he's like, "Oh, you've changed," and he's looking at a butterfly, and the butterfly's like, "We're supposed to. Your butterfly is your final form. It's not like some weird transformation of what you think you are in the moment. Like, no, you just this is something you are going to turn into regardless
So
of whether
someday
you
all my
want
skin's
to or
gonna fall
not."
off and I'm
Just
gonna
got
be a
deep.
chick.
No, that's the opposite
What?
of what I'm saying.
She's saying that's your final form when you transform into
No,
something
your
else.
final
Buffalo
form
Bill?
is adulthood. It's not changing your sex. You can't change your sex.
So caterpillars don't change their sex when they become butterflies. It's not like a dude caterpillar and suddenly becomes a hot
You
chick
know what?
butterfly.
I'm not an entomologist, or is that even the right?
That's
I don't know.
The fact that you knew that
but-
word so quickly is why you're on this show with the two idiots over here.
Okay, you know what? I don't know if they change their sex. I'm pretty sure they don't. They're not
Do they
frogs.
feed butterflies seed oils?
Well, honestly, if a butterfly gets somehow nectar from, say, something like a...
Atrazine from our water supply.
No, that's not where I was going with it, but I would assume they'd have seed oils. Insects would get seed oils from nectar.
I would assume, yeah.
Right? Is there seed oil in nectar, in like plant nectar, like sunflowers? Are
Yeah.
there seeds? Is there sunflower seeds? Do you have sunflower oil? Is there seed oil in sunflowers?
The
Is that
problem
what's
isn't-
turning the frogs gay? Is
No,
sunflower
that's
oil?
atrazine.
Oh my God, that is why there is so much peanut butter allergy in the world. The bees
No,
are
that's
getting
actually
seed
from
oils from the
vaccines, but
sunflower
we're not
seeds.
gonna
Figured it out.
Who needs scientists when you have shots fired?
You just touched on a very sticky topic.
That's what she said.
That is what she said.
All right, guys, we've spent like, I don't know, 7 minutes talking about nothing. Welcome to your Saturday morning. What we're going to do in this show is we are going to finish the Sweet 16. What we're going to try. We're going to try to finish the Sweet 16 of post-apocalyptic weapons. We're going to go over the 16 choices from our staff, and we're each going to vote on each one of these to
We're
narrow it
locked in
down.
now, too.
Wait, I thought they were already voted. Were
No,
they
no,
not?
they have not voted. We haven't voted. We have to vote for each other.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah,
was
I'm-
voting for our top picks. Or
This
that
is just
doesn't come
next.
until that's
Yeah,
the end.
this
that's
is
that.
just like congressional law and federal rule-based stuff.
Where
we
nobody-
make the rules
nobody
up
knows
as we
what's
go.
going on.
Yeah, we
Okay,
make the
perfect.
rules
Each
up as we
other
go.
off.
So we're also going to talk about a little news. So as soon as we come back from break, we are going to get into the Sweet 16.
Okay.
Before that, we've got like 2 minutes to talk about news in the Second Amendment world, and there's some pretty big stuff happening this week.
Yeah, hopefully.
One of those things is, what was it called again? We have 46 senators. This happened on Wednesday night, late in the evening. 46 senators filed a resolution.
Of disapproval.
A resolution of disapproval, something that Krystal gives me on a regular basis. And this resolution of disapproval is on the arm brace rule and the ATF's and the Department of Homeland Defense and the DOJ on the DOJ's rule that they're proposing to make 40 million Americans felons in less than 120 days, and that clock is ticking, just like the clock is
Rapidly.
ticking on this show. And so what that means is, there are 46 senators, and guess what? They're all Republicans. There are 46 senators. 3 of them have not entered in on this resolution. I don't have their names, but you can Google it. You can find it on Guns and Gadgets on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can also find this on GOA, Gun Owners of America, because things might have changed by Saturday morning. Gun Owners of America will have a list of the senators that have not gotten on board with this resolution, and obviously we need a majority, right?
Yeah.
And so there are Democrat pro-gun senators out there. There are Democrats
Not many,
that are
but there is.
There are Democrats that, when I say pro-gun, I mean pro-Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Like they're anti-assault rifle, they're anti-this and that. They're like, okay, if you have a deer rifle in your house. But those are the senators that we need to get to step up and say, look, either you're for the Second Amendment or you're not. This is absolutely opposing the Second Amendment. But either way, they filed this resolution of disapproval, which could kill the whole thing. In addition to that, GOA has issued a request for injunction, 50-state injunction to stop the whole thing.
Yep.
And the way they're doing it, the way they've positioned the injunction is pretty incredible. They're basically not only saying it's unconstitutional, not only saying that it's a bunch of BS, in legal terms, but they also point out that the rulemaking, the way rules are supposed to be made, there's a process.
Yeah.
And part of that process is publishing the rule in the National Register, and then giving us, the people, X amount of days, 30 days, to comment on that. Well, that's what they did. They published a rule. We commented on the rule, and they said, okay, we have completely got rid of the rule that we published, and we're going to throw this one in here that's even worse and nothing like what you commented on.
Yeah.
And by the way, it takes effect in 120 days. Happy Felony Friday. Anyway, we will be back after this to talk more about that. Before the break, and we got it all in.
That's what she said.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Okay, we're back, guys, and what we're talking about there is the GOA lawsuit we were talking about before the break that hopefully will get us an injunction on the arm brace ruling. An injunction means that basically you can continue to have your arm brace on your short-barreled pistol until the case is finalized in a federal court or the Supreme Court, wherever it dies at or is won by the federal government.
Remind me again why the average person should care about this.
Well, because average people all over America have arm braces on their AR-15 style pistols and 9mm style pistols, like Strybogs, MP5s, CZ Scorpions, blah, blah, blah. And these AK-47s, you name it. The gun industry for the last 10 years has been selling firearms with barrels less than 16 inches with arm braces on them because the ATF said it was okay. Multiple times. And then they changed their mind.
The literal letter was included with the brace.
Right.
You'd buy the brace. It would have the letter from the ATF stating that this was acceptable.
And so, yes, if you're listening and you don't own an arm brace, you should still care. The reason you should still care is it's just like the bump stock. Every time they do one of these things, they get one step further to take in your gun. The trigger will be next, right? The sights will be next. Eventually, they'll say, you know what? Nobody needs assault dots.
Yeah.
Just iron sights for those peasants.
Yeah.
Nobody needs assault dots. Only the military needs assault dots.
It sounds so ridiculous, but at the same time, I could actually see that being a legitimate
I'm
thing.
surprised it hasn't happened yet. I hope I didn't just give somebody
you just
an
gave me the idea.
I'm glad no Democrats listen to the show. Anyway, let's get into the Sweet 16 because we could talk about the Russian fighter jets hitting drones. We could talk about all kinds of fun stuff, but I'd rather talk about guns today.
Yeah. Save World War III.
So what we're going to do to save time. We're just going to go through these one at a time. All right, and I'll read it out. Each of us picked 4 guns, and so 4 times 4 of us is 16. So we have 16 guns. The 3 of us are going to vote for each one. You are welcome to vote along on the app. If you have the Real Talk 93.3 app, you can vote in real time, and we will amend our results next week if necessary, if you don't agree with us on something. What we're going to do is I'm going to say the gun, describe the gun, and then each of us, we'll start with you on the first one, is going to vote, thumbs up or thumbs down on whether or not this would be a good gun for you. You just have to, it's a yes or no.
Yeah.
And so if it's all 3 yeses, the gun passes. If it's 2 yeses and a no, the gun doesn't pass, right? Or the gun passes. If there's 2 no's, if there's a majority no, the gun it's off the bracket.
Gotcha.
Right? It goes to the loser bracket. Right? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So we will start. I'm not going to start with mine. We'll start with.
Let's Let's start with Alex's.
Okay, let's start with
Fine.
Alex's.
All my choices are fantastic.
Mom has spoken. So Alex had picked originally a 240 Bravo belt-fed squad machine gun ultralight from Barrett, but he changed that in the last show to a Mark 48. Why'd you do that again?
Just a little bit wider, more easy to not only shoulder fire, but also hike around, lug around, not just having.
And it's still 308 7.62 by 5.1, which is NATO 308
you still got the range,
Winchester,
still got the firepower,
and it's still a common ammo. Remember, when we vote on these, it's your own personal opinion. Plus, is this ammo readily available in a post-apocalyptic world?
Which it is.
Is it going to be effective for the mission sets that you're going to experience, or that it's implied to be used for?
Yep.
And does it have sex appeal?
I mean, there's no argument if the Mark 48 has
does
sex
have
appeal.
sex appeal.
Okay.
I'm looking at it now, and it makes me want to vote for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of.
Okay.
I'm
okay.
a visual person. I just like,
Well, let's.
that gun looks cute.
Let's. So we'll put the Mark 48 up against. You know what? Let's do it this way. That way we can knock the bracket down faster. Let's put the Mark 48 up against my choice.
Okay.
Okay. Because I also chose a squad machine gun, because I think a squad machine gun is definitely something you need in post-apocalyptic times.
Absolutely.
Something to suppress, anything out to 800 yards. And mine was the Saw, which is a 5.56 NATO. Again, can shoot 223, easy ammo everywhere. I actually own one. Mine is semi-auto, but could be easily converted into full auto in a post-apocalyptic world if I wasn't caring about prison or anything like that. And/or if I had an SOT-7. But anyway, so mine is the Saw. So let's vote.
Wait, yours looks like a more lay down only type of gun.
It's not. There's many different variations and configurations
It depends
of the
on
M249.
how big you are.
Look up M249 paratrooper.
Wait. Okay.
Well, we don't have time for her to Google M249 paratrooper is not an option. So the Mark 48.
Yeah.
Is the Mark 48 and the 249 paratrooper the same thing?
No, you're the Saw on the M249. That is the Saw.
So the 249
I see.
paratrooper is the
Yeah.
same thing as my Saw.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
my
you've got
Saw's my
16.
Saw's a Mark 46.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the difference between a Saw Mark 46 and a Saw Mark 249? Or a Saw 249, not paratrooper, not Mark.
The paratrooper is going to have, I think it's either a 11.5 or 12.5 inch barrel and the collapsible PDW
I do have
stock.
the collapsible stock,
got
and
that,
I do
but
have
you
the
don't have
short
the short.
barrel, but I also have a long barrel too.
I'm
Yeah.
literally Googling these as you guys are talking about them because sometimes you lose me with the numbers and stuff. The numbers and stuff. I'm still sticking with,
Okay,
actually,
let's start with you. Let's vote. So you have to choose. Which gun would you choose of those two? The Mark 48 that Alex chose, or the Mark 46 Saw
Okay, I'm
that
going
I
to
chose?
explain my vote. I'm voting for Alex's only because yours looks really heavy. And it looks like I wouldn't be able to carry this and 3 other weapons around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that there is a huge weight difference. I think that the Mark 48 would be heavier, but your vote is recorded into the histories, the annals of history. Yes. And so that is one vote for the Mark 48.
This is based on my extensive Google image done in the last 10 seconds.
So she has searched hentai porn and machine
The
guns.
government's really
in
concerned
the
right
last
now.
10
not at a
minutes.
What is
list
this
at all.
homeschooling mom doing?
All right, I'm gonna vote now, okay? Because we're talking about Alex's guns. We'll let him go last. I'm gonna vote for Alex's Mark 48 too.
What?
I
You're
didn't
gonna
think
vote
about.
for yourself?
I voted. No, I originally came. That's what this is all about. What's a better gun? My 5.56 Saw is going to keep the zombies at bay, or the Chinese, whatever, at 400 yards.
It's a mass effective range of 800
know-
meters with a point target of 500.
But thank you, machine gunner.
Yes, sir.
But the Mark 48 is going to do that at 800 meters, which is going to push my battlefield out. And if you've seen how fast some of these zombie Chinese people and their robot dogs move, I'm going to want to get a jump on them. The robot dogs are what you have to worry about.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
And if I'm
Exactly
shooting
what I was
robot
thinking.
dogs, I'd rather hit robot dogs with 308.
Absolutely.
Than 5.56. I'm pretty sure the 5.56, those robot dogs are going to shake off like ticks on a hound.
It's correct. It's
Right
correct.
on.
The
Can you
308
tell
will
I'm
help.
digging deep from my country roots.
Yes.
All right. Alex, your vote, quick.
Obviously, the Mark 48 as well.
So we didn't swing you. You're
Nope.
going to stay with the Mark 48?
Yeah.
And so the Mark 48 7.62 by 5.1 NATO belt-fed squad machine gun moves on to the final round, which we'll probably be doing next week. So we'll put a big circle on that one, and we got to go to break soon. So we'll come back with another vote. But before we go to break, I just want to thank our sponsor, TacticalSht in St. Peters, where you can get all the bullets to put in your belt-fed machine gun.
That's true.
And or the assault dots to put on it, or the night vision, or the helmets, or the armor, or the holsters, or the clothing, or the anything you want.
All of it.
All of it in St. Peters, Cave Springs, and 70. When the S-H-T hits the fan, have the right S-H-T. All right, we're back, and we're voting about on the Sweet 16
This could get heated.
of guns for the zombie or Chinese apocalypse, whichever comes first. And we just voted the Mark 48 into the next round. The SAW has been taken out. The M249 is dead. So we're going to move on to the next one. We decided to go. So each of us chose, without being told to, we each chose 4 guns. Well, we were told to choose 4 guns, but we weren't told what kind of guns, right?
Right.
But as you would expect, we chose some precision rifles, we chose some machine guns, chose some shotguns, chose some 22s, and chose some handguns, and some intermediate rifles.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the intermediate rifles. All right. I chose a Mark 18 300 Blackout suppressed.
Yes.
It's actually my gun, Daniel Defense Quad Rail, or it's an old school OG Mark 18 clone, inspired clone, 300 Blackout. I did that because 300 Blackout is gonna hit hard. It's gonna be quiet, so I can do quiet things with my whisper pickle.
Yes.
And it's got an SDN 6 30 cal whisper pickle on it, as well as a sling. So that's going to be my primary work gun. However, it's only going to carry out to maybe 200 yards because that 300 Blackout suppressed is only, it's a pistol caliber, and the supersonic is still a big heavy bullet, right?
Yeah.
And not exactly as easy to find the ammo, but I think it's getting more common these days.
Significantly.
I just watched it was a Netflix special about a murder on a farm, and the farmer actually shot his wife with a 300 Blackout. So I was kind of excited that we're starting to see 300 Blackouts show up in high-profile murders. That means there's more of that ammunition out there in a post-apocalyptic world.
I appreciate your optimistic viewpoint on that.
Make bright out of anything.
So, Alex, you had chose what?
Man, I don't remember, but if I had to guess, I think it was
I
a
have it written down.
11.5-inch 5.56 recce.
Yes, it was 11.5-inch 5.56 with an LPVO. What does that mean?
Low power variable optics. So reason being there, I almost went the same direction as you, 300 Blackout, but in my mind, intermediary is 1 to 500, and the 300 Blackout just doesn't do that. A 11.5-inch 5.56, without getting into all the reasons why, SOCOM did testing, and the Mark 18, which is a 10.3, was just too short.
That's what she said.
True story. 14.5, too much length for CQB. That's what she said.
Also what she said.
So
Not on the same night, hopefully, if she's not a hoe.
Yeah.
True story. 11.5-inch, you're losing almost nothing from the 14.5, but you're gaining leaps and bounds over the 10.5 with a low power variable optic, such as EOTech Voodoo 1 to 10. You are able to successfully, rapidly engage effectively targets from 5 yards to about 600 yards away.
Oh, really?
With ease. Yes.
Huh.
In my opinion, it is lightweight. I have one, just not with that optic. It is lightweight, around the 7-pound mark. 5.56 ammo's everywhere. It's also lighter than 300 Blackout, so I can carry significantly more ammunition on me and push my engagement distance all the way out to effectively 500 or 600 yards.
Okay, so I'm going to assume you're going to vote for the 5.56 over the 300 Blackout. We'll start with you.
And
this
it
time.
hurts me. It hurts me to do so, but in this situation, yes.
But in this situation, there can be only one. Just like the
correct.
Kirgin.
Wow.
Your turn.
And then we
300
had to
Blackout.
have hers.
No. Well, hers comes up later. Right? So she actually gets to go up against whatever gun wins this one.
Okay.
So with this, you have to make a choice for Christ. Was it the 300 Blackout suppressed? Was your 5.56 suppressed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine was.
So it's a suppressed 5.56, which is not ever going to be totally quiet, but because they always crack.
Hearing safe, though.
It's hearing safe. Or a 300 blackout, which is going to be quiet, but the 300 blackout bullets only go out to 100 or 200 meters. The 5.56 goes out to 500 meters. 5.56 is more readily available than the 300 blackout, which is becoming more and more available, but not as readily available as the 5.56. So with that knowledge, I will let
This is
you
a really
choose.
tough choice. I feel like the distance is a big deal. I'm going to go with the 300 blackout,
Oh, really? Why?
just because it's a little more sexier.
Oh, she got it
It
on
is-
the sex appeal.
I will give it that. That's where the
Holy
5.56 is
cow.
lacking.
So I'm actually going to be the tie-breaking vote
Yeah.
in this situation. Oh, my goodness. It's so much stress.
Well, you should have, darn it, you should have voted first, because now my answer is going to influence yours.
No, it's not, actually, because,
Can I make a note that will help you?
yes.
You did leave out the fact that, yes, with subs, you're limited to about 2, but with supers, you could probably push out to close to 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
agree.
your limitation isn't as bad. Now, you're not as quiet, but it's still supersonic 300. It's usually a little bit quieter than 5.56.
You know, and part of what I wanted to do here was have a quiet tool, you know, to do some work with. But honestly, something that both you and Chris had talked about had actually given me an idea for a better quiet tool that is going to, I'm going to swing my vote. I'm going to vote for Alex's 5.56, 11.5. I agree completely with you that the sex appeal is there for the 300
No, it is.
blackout. And I mean, it's my gun. Why not? But if the zombies were coming right this second and I had my choice of the 2 guns, I'd probably grab the 11.5, only because of ammo availability.
That's the one thing that steered me from 300.
Yeah, I think ammo availability is going to be the biggest thing, because in a zombie or Chinese apocalypse, either way, you're going to need a lot of ammo, because there's tons of, if you've ever seen a zombie movie, there's lots of them. And if you've ever seen the Chinese, there's even more.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot.
Fair point.
Yeah, but so the 5.56, 11.5, that moves on to the winner's circle, and my 300 blackout gets retired. All right, so now we're going to go to something Krystal had voted for, and the Notorious FDE.
What was that?
They had both chosen as their number 1 choice 1022 Ruger 1022.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Krystal, tell us about your 1022. Is it suppressed? What, you know, is it? Do you have a?
Wait, if you're asking, it's always going to be yes. All of the everything, yes. If
see
I
your
have
face
the
right now.
option, of course.
Okay.
If I'm walking into a gun store in the apocalypse, I'm yes.
Well, I mean, a
Everything's
suppressed
suppressed.
22 can be the quietest of all quiets. If you put subsonic 22
Yeah.
in it, for like you said that you had chose the 22 for hunting,
Right.
More so than for engaging the zombies,
Yeah.
or the Chinese. And that's kind of also what Chris said. He liked the 1022 because he could work on it. He wanted his with steel sights, just iron sights, an old
Yeah.
school, woody 1022. I envision your 1022 all tacked out with a modern chassis.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because
One of those.
let's face it, Krystal's always got a nice chassis on her gun.
You're
trying to
such
make
a
this
smart
awkward.
person.
Trying to make this
Alex
awkward.
is just like, I refuse to say anything.
I'm not playing you.
I
again.
did that not to get a move out of you, but actually to watch the blood drain out of his face. And it didn't work because his face filled with blood. He's turning red.
Yeah.
So anyway, I would say a chassis. Do you recommend any 1022 chassis for her?
Volquartsen.
Volquartsen? Oh,
very.
yeah.
That in my mind is as sexy as it gets for the 1022.
Wait, how do you
She's
spell that?
Googling now.
Can she
I
just
am.
change her vote right now?
Wait, how do you spell
Her
that? I'm going to Google it.
Volquartsen.
VOL.
So VOL and then like quarter.
SON.
SON. There might be a T in there.
There's a Z.
There's a Z. And I would even highly recommend instead of doing
Interesting.
instead of doing a suppressor on your 1022 Volquartsen.
Gemtech missed. The barrel.
Yeah, I would do the barrel, the integrated 1022 barrel Gemtech Mist. We're building the perfect Zombie 22.
Now
for
I
you. kind
of want one of
This
these.
is kind of fun. Okay.
I may have to add this to the list
All
for
right.
real.
So let's. I think we just totally cheated FDE out of his because we.
Well, his was some funny rabbit hunting
he wants
blaster.
the gun Elmer Fudd carried in the cartoon. All
The
right.
ye old boomer blaster of 1985. Like, whoa, wow, that's gonna win sex appeal there, nacho cheese man.
Okay, so the barrel's called a Gemtech Mist.
Yeah,
in a Vol.
I'm
Vol
99% sure
in a
that's
Vol
what it is.
Quartzen chassis. In other words, an integrally suppressed Ruger 1022
It's
in a
8
modern
inches
chassis.
of barrel and then 8 inches of suppressor all in one piece.
That is one hell of a whisper pickle.
Yes,
Wow.
it is. It sounds like a rubber band gun going off. It's stupid. Have you shot
Sounds
one
like
before?
this.
No, it's quieter than that.
Oh, okay. It's
Like
quiet.
literally, the loudest thing is the bolt going.
Sounds
back
like a
and forth.
paperclip landing
Yeah.
on a desk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
This
you
is
could
really
murder
cool.
schwack
I want
somebody.
to see a
and-
video of this.
Well, and so the
It's
reason
cool.
I wanted to bring these guns up and really go with suppressed is because let's vote. Let's start with Alex. Alex, actually, I'll start because I haven't started yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote for the Ruger 1022 of Krystals with the Vol Quartzen chassis and the
Even though
Gemtech
we
Mist
built this
barrel.
You guys
for
really
Well, that's what we
sexed it
do
up
at
for me.
Tactical
Thank
SH.
you.
Aye.
We build custom guns for people based on their needs.
This is amazing.
That's what we do. And so you have just experienced it. I'm going to vote for that one because that gun is going to be whisper quiet when I need it to. It's going to have running supersonics through it. You know, some CCI high power is going to be. I'm still going to be able to take those rabbits at 100 yards. Although I'm going to have to use all my glass. Oh, you know what? We didn't talk about an optic. What would we put? What would you put on that? What was your theory? Were you going to have a red dot, or were you going to have a scope, or were you
Red
doing
dot.
iron sights? It was red
I'm
dot.
pretty partial.
Okay, so we'll do a red dot. Alex, what red dot would you put on that gun?
Ooh. Oh yeah. Aim point acro,
Acro
P2.
2. Yeah, there we go. We were in total agreement
Yeah.
there.
That
Acro 2. All right, so I'm going to vote for that gun because it's
one
not,
battery to last you the entire World War III zombie apocalypse, whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna run the whole thing on one
Are those
battery.
shake awake now too?
No, there's no need. The battery
you just
itself
leave it on all the
is
time?
15 years.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 'cause I've got an Acro 1 and I don't like it because I have to turn it on. And, you know,
Correct.
when somebody comes crashing into your house in the middle of the night, it's like, oh, wait, let me turn my optic on. It's dumb. Anyway, okay, so can we just. If you want to vote for the Ruger 1022 Vol Quartzen Gemtech Mist with the Acro 2, say aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
All right. That gun moves along
Sorry, Chris.
to the next round, and the bone stock 1022 of Elmer Fudd is retired.
There's literally no advantage of why. What, for simplicity's sake?
It was just what he thought
If
about.
somehow
You know, It's what
any
he
of her
thought.
stuff breaks, you still use backup irons. But it's an aim
I
so it's
almost
not
wish
going
he was
to.
here so he could have argued his point, but you know, it's
That
okay.
would have taken up the whole show.
Yeah, he'll do it. He'll do it in the comment section, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. The 300 Blackout has been retired. Let's do. Let's see, we got the AA-12 still. We still have the MRAD 300 Winchester. We still got the MP5. Okay, let's put the MP5K PDW, which is one of your choices.
Yeah.
MP5K PDW, personal defense weapon, which is the shorty MP5, right? The kind that fits in a briefcase.
Yes, sir.
All right. And we're going to put that up against another mid-range PDW gun that looks like Chris picked, which is the DRD Tactical 300 Blackout Subsonic, and he had a 5.56 barrel here. Okay, because he can run both 300 or 5.56 through this gun.
Yeah.
He was smart to make that choice with a Vortex 1-8. So that's also an LVPO, right?
A little bit overkill, but that's fine.
Okay, so we have the DRD Tactical 300 Blackout, 300 and 5.56 convertible, Vortex 1-8, which is a magnified optic from 1 to 8 power.
Yeah.
That's the kind of optic you would use in like 3-gun shooting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A little bit more powerful. Yours would be a 1-6, right, on the gun that we already put through? The LVPO?
No, 1 to 10 EOTech Voodoo.
Oh, okay, 1 to 10. So why do you say a 1 to 8 is overkill if a 1 to 10 was on the gun you chose?
Because he's got it on 300 Blackout, mine's on 5.56. Although he does have the 5.56 barrel, so never mind.
He does, but he would have to re-zero that optic for each barrel.
Ooh, yeah,
That's a
that's a
point.
weakness.
That's a point.
Well, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
They're
unless it was
huge.
Oh, are we running out of time, Drew? Okay, well, you know what? We will. We're gonna vote on the DRD Tactical 300 Blackout 556 convertible against the MP5K PDW as soon as we come back from break. We'll be back. Back to the voting with the last segment of the show. Can you believe it's almost over?
Can I say I'm having so much fun?
Yeah, this one's quite enjoyable.
All right, I am having a good time too, but I'm under pressure. Under pressure. All right. So we have an AA-12, we have a Glock 17, we got an AR-10 still. Wow, so many things. But right now, we're trying to get through the voting for the MP5K PDW versus the DRD Tactical
I'd
300
like to notate
Blackout.
the MP5K of mine was suppressed.
It is suppressed.
Yeah, it is suppressed.
Okay. So we have an MP5K, and that's 9mm.
Yes, I literally have one of these myself, so that's why I went with this one.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Can this fit in a purse?
How big is your purse? My wife's Louis Vuitton everything carry bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's-
a bigger purse?
With
yeah.
it side folded, it's literally about this big.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and easily convertible to full auto in the post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
Okay, because
You just have to kill somebody that has a full auto HK and take their sear.
This is
That's not the K.
no, that's not the K.
Look
Okay.
up MP5.
She's looking at pictures, everybody. This is radio, but she's looking at pictures. It's okay. So, we got to vote. We got to move along. Yes, that is an MP5K.
with the
This
side
looks
folding stock.
extremely compact.
It is.
And the stock folds to the side. So you flip it out so you actually have a butt stock, or you collapse it for storage sake.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's
Bonus points
that's it
too to
for
argue
me.
my own system. HK has developed a sling that keeps it collapsed and hidden under a jacket, and as soon as you deploy it, it automatically flips the buttstock out. So as you punch it out, the stock comes out and shoulder it and engage.
That's so sexy. That's so fun.
Yeah.
I'm calling an audible.
Uh-oh.
I'm calling an audible as judge advocate.
Oh.
I am not going to put the MP5K. I don't think it's fair. I'm not going to put it up against the DRD 300 Blackout. I've decided to change it. I'm going to put it up against my choice,
Yeah.
which is the SIG 320 Raider
Okay.
with a WIT Mod 1 suppressor and
hang
a single
on.
I
point
accept
sling.
that.
Hang
I
on.
accept
Okay,
that challenge.
because we're at this point now we're comparing a 9mm suppressed PDW to a 9mm suppressed PDW. I think it's more fair.
Yeah, I mean 9 and 300 blackout.
It does mean that by default the DRD tactical
It's gonna have to go against mine.
It's gonna have to go against the AA-12.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
Ooh, that actually makes it more interesting.
Yeah, it does. So we've talked about the MP5K. It is full auto convertible. It is suppressed. It's
Yep.
9mm. It's
Yep.
very compact. Fits in a briefcase or a large purse.
Wait, sorry. The SIG 320.
In a Flux Raider.
Just look up Flux Raider because it's
Okay.
only made for the 320.
FLUXRAIDER. Flux Raider. And they only make them for the
Oh.
SIG 320. And-
Interesting. This changes things.
Yes. So the Flux Raider is a chassis
Yes.
that it's a small, petite chassis
Yes.
that you insert the 320 in. And then the 320 then goes from being a handgun to a PDW that you can shoulder fire, taking accuracy with your red dot, in my case, an aim point acro A2.
Yeah.
It takes your easy accuracy out to 50 meters. Yeah.
This looks so different than.
Yeah, so
Honestly,
his
like
has got
almost,
a foldy boy stock, the
Right.
MP5K.
Yep.
The Raider has a switchblade stock. You hit a little button and the stock goes, like it pops out the back.
Have you shown it in a video?
Yes, I did a video on my
Okay.
Instagram a couple weeks ago
Okay.
when I fell in absolute love with it. It is not a problematic, not a problem-free platform, and it takes a lot of training.
Ooh.
I'd like to
Interesting.
add that the MP5K is known in such things such as when the SAS took down the Iranians at the Olympic event where they captured the Israelis and the SAS did a raid on the compound. It was the MP5 used. Most special forces units in the world. This is a weapon developed in the 60s that is still consistently used to this day because of how far ahead of its time it was. Also, I'd like to add the cyclic rate of fire is unreal, which I can actually give example. No, I can't. It has bad words in the video.
Wasn't it in some pretty famous movies too?
It's been in a lot.
So
of
for like
famous movies.
sex appeal, you have
Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard for sure. You know, it's
Ho ho ho! Now I have a machine gun is in reference to the MP5.
Yes.
I still have yet to see this movie.
Yeah. Well, for next Christmas, we got to do like a showing or something. You know, if we could rent like the Dollar Theater place in St. Charles and do like Die Hard and have all of our
Burned
listeners
down
come.
like 4 years ago.
Oh.
We can bring a projector. Okay, so now I'm really starting to second guess my choice to pull the audible here.
I just know I've been building the right firearms for a while now.
All right,
I'm quite set.
So what I meant by you need some training is to practice with it, because if you hit the switchblade, sometimes the stock, like if it's up against you or if it hits your cheek or something, it won't fully extend, and then you have to grab it and pull it out, right? No big deal, just takes a split second.
Okay.
The other thing I like about the Raider is it carries 2 magazines as part of the chassis, one in the gun and one in the foregrip.
Oh.
There is a paddle release where your normal paddle release would be on your gun, but there's also one in the foregrip, kind of where you'd find an AK paddle grip. When you hit that grip lightly, that front magazine comes out. If you hit it hard, both magazines, the firing magazine drops, which allows you to simultaneously drop the front mag and the rear mag and throw the front mag into the mag well for a speed reload. And if you're running 30 round mags, now I'm carrying 60 rounds of ammunition. But the MP5K, you could have a side saddle mag and still carry 60 rounds. So both of them can be speed reloaded pretty quickly and carry about 60 rounds of ammo.
Mine has the ability to do the HK slap. Yours doesn't.
Oh, that is a sex appeal issue.
that has to get added.
For sex appeal, he can do the HK slap where you slap the bolt like a girl's behind.
I'll show you a video
I know
later. It's
exactly
literally
what
iconic.
To send the bolt home.
I know.
Mine has sex
Chuck-a-mundo.
appeal because it has a switchblade button.
It does.
And the
It
stock
does.
shoots out. It goes ching. It's kind of neat. Okay. I like it. So one has modern sex appeal, one has timeless sex appeal.
And battle proven.
This
numbers
is
of
actually
bodies under.
really tough. I don't want to go first.
Technical. One is a roller lock delayed blowback.
And full auto.
And full auto. That is the MP5. The 320 is blowback all the time and has a lot of reciprocating mass, and so has more recoil.
Yeah.
Blowback all the time.
Yeah, it's just a giant slap of metal blowing back from an explosion every time you shoot it, so it goes.
The MP5 has to unlock for the round. The bolt
It has
to go
German
back quick
technology in it to bleed gases off before the recoil pulse begins.
So there's
that's
like
really
virtually no recoil.
And
which
also less damaging on the parts.
Which is why under
You guys are
full
making
auto.
this a really, really
Well,
tough
we've only got
choice.
3 minutes to vote for this one gun, and
I
we're
wanna
never
hear-
going to get through the full Sweet
Full
16.
auto,
This
you
is
can
going to
draw
go on for
your
the whole
name.
month of
I'm
March, folks.
absolutely going to let your guys' votes
right.
influence mine.
Oh,
Because
this
this
is
is
good.
tough.
She's going to be the tiebreaker. Actually, I don't know. We'll start with me. Man, this is tough. So we're talking a suppressed MP5K, full auto, does it have a red dot?
With my literal setup, a Trigicon MRO HD.
Okay, you got an MRO. I'm not a big fan of the MRO, but whatever.
You haven't messed with the HD.
Okay, you're right. I haven't. So what I liked about the
You're stalling.
what I liked about the Raider was the fact that I could convert it from a PDW to a CCW. So I could take it out of the chassis and put it in my waistband to go rob the liquor store.
Time you do not have in the zombie apocalypse.
But the MP5 is so cool and it's full
It
auto.
has the sling that pops the stock out.
Yeah. Okay.
And a suitcase that you can shoot through.
Well, you didn't say that the suitcase was included.
I don't even need that.
Okay.
Wait.
That's how cool it is.
Wait,
it
wait.
wins without. Yeah,
Wait,
they make a
let's
specific
explore
suitcase. You
this.
lock it in, and the handle,
Yeah.
the carrying handle for the suitcase, is the trigger.
Yeah.
It's
That's
tell you
some
what.
straight up James Bond.
I'll tell you
Yes,
what.
it
is. I'm going to vote, and I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to stick.
Oh, you're making it so hard
I'm
for me.
gonna
This is
stick with the
first time you've
320
voted
and
for
the
this.
Flux
This is the
Raider.
hill you die on.
And here's why. I don't need full auto. And the other thing is I like the idea of being able to take it out and put it in my waistband so I can go lower vis. I think that the HK beats it on sex appeal all to death. But I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to
I
go
don't have to worry
320
about dropping mine.
and a Flux Raider. Oh wow.
Yeah, I went there. I don't have to worry about dropping mine. It is shooting me.
All right. Well, I have voted.
Mic
I have
drop.
voted. Now, Alex, it's your turn.
Obviously, the reliability, the amount of bodies under it that it's already been combat proven since the 70s. The fact that it is full auto, which I would want to be able to rapidly use suppressive fire, which being in a few gunfights, I like to be able to suppress to move forward. I'm going to stick with my MP5.
All right. So we have one vote for the MP5K. We have one vote for the Flux Raider. You have 46 seconds left in the show.
Okay, I'm just gonna slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So I'm gonna pro
Which
and
is how
con
the
this
MP5
bad boy.
shoots.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Just
that
remember,
was-
every second you go over, Drew's eyes are going to bleed.
Okay. Okay, wait. Who says I have to decide right now?
Oh, she's going to leave us with a cliffhanger?
That's the way
Wait,
to
what
end
if
the
we
show.
let the internet decide? What if I just like take a picture with each and say which one A or B?
Well, that means we have to go buy both of them. Well,
I
you
have
the
one.
K,
You
don't
have one.
Nerd.
You're going to leave us with a cliffhanger, aren't you?
I think we should let the audience decide.
No, that's not how this works.
I'll let them influence my decision. How about that?
All right, so you heard her. You're listening to the app right now. You have the app open. You can also leave your comments in the DMs on YouTube and anywhere you can find the show on podcast. You can help her make her decision. Is it the MP5K full auto suppressed with an MRO HD and a single point sling, or is it the Flux Raider 320 SIG 9mm with an Acro 2 and a Mod 1 suppressor and a single point sling? Which is it? We will find out next
I'm gonna
week.
post a picture
Leave
and
it to Krystal
I'll
to
let
give us the
the
first
audience
cliffhanger
know.
this show's ever had.
True story.
Well,
We'll see you next week.